Hey everybody, how's it going? So, I am back here on the random channel number 1 to bring you this new series of videos of me playing through the Mortal Kombat Complete Edition MUGEN games. And basically this is a MUGEN collection of several remakes of the classic Mortal Kombat games and a few modifications, a few hacks that were made for MUGEN. So we got Mortal Kombat 1 for PC and for Genesis. They are essentially the same game, but the main difference is the music. We got Mortal Kombat 2, same thing for Genesis. Mortal Kombat 3 standalone. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 with the respective Sega Genesis version. And the Super Nintendo version that actually has not only the music adapted to the Super Nintendo console, but also the health bars are adapted to the Super Nintendo, basically having the name of the fighters outside of the bar itself. It's just a aesthetic detail, but it might be interesting for some. But in essence, the gameplay, the characters, the graphics, the stages, how everything related to the game mechanics is exactly the same in this version or in this version or in this one. But for the sake of the playthrough itself, or the playthroughs, because I plan on playing as every character, I'll be playing the PC version, which is basically the arcade one, the arcade adaptation, if you will. We got Mortal Kombat Trilogy and Mortal Kombat 4, which is in essence a 2D game with the same mechanics as Mortal Kombat 3 and Ultimate and Trilogy, but with slightly modified graphics, stages, and of course the characters that appeared from Mortal Kombat 4 also get featured in this one. So it might be an interesting one to look at. And also we got the ROM hack that is actually available as a ROM for the Sega Genesis called Ultimate Mortal Kombat Trilogy, which is a combination of everything from Mortal Kombat 1 through Trilogy, of course with the respective stages and the music from the Sega Genesis specifically. Maybe we will take a look at this one because it is slightly different from Mortal Kombat Trilogy alone. I'm still like evaluating that. I mean, it could be just easier to play the actual ROM hack for the Sega Genesis, which I think I have done in a couple of videos in the past, in the far past, I would say. So we're gonna focus mostly, if not only, on these PC versions, which are essentially arcade conversions. And of course, remakes. Basically, these are like the arcades, but made better, with more detail, with, of course, more fatalities in some cases, or modified fatalities, the addition of friendships, abilities, and animalities in even the early Mortal Kombat games. We will see that in detail when we play the game. So, without further ado, let's play. And this is the first official gameplay pre-recorded in which I'm going to be using this system of recording from one computer, the screen of another computer basically, through a capture card. I don't know how the volume is going to go. Hopefully it's not going to be too loud. Full screen, of course. That's the whole point. We're gonna take a look at the options. Medium. We're gonna go medium 3, that's fine. I think everything else is pretty much set up, including the buttons. And as you can see in the fighters roster, we got Reptile, which you shouldn't be surprised about. So let's go for arcade mode. Again, I'll be playing as every character. I will try my best to actually finish the game as every character. There are some characters that I definitely do not like, but they have been kind of improved for this modified version. So it's actually more fun to play them in these cases. I'm going to start with Kano. It's actually one of the characters that I don't really dig too much on Mortal Kombat 1. And we got the bio from the arcade with a little animation thing as well. The music is exactly the same as the arcade version. Yeah, we got Error Macro, which is basically the long version of Ermac. That's where Ermac himself actually came from. So yeah, we got pretty much the same moves of Kano as in Mortal Kombat 3, and I think that also gets expanded for the fatalities. So we got the classic throwing knife, but also we have this attack that is for Mortal Kombat 3. So is this one, the grab. Okay, that noise went for a little bit much longer than expected. Just notice that Goro's Lair got some vines at the top. Fatalities in this specific Mortal Kombat are super easy, as you can see. It doesn't require too many button combinations. So we got friendships and animalities, but not babalities in this one. And we got brutality, which we're not gonna do because it really takes too much memorization, in my opinion. Alright, let's see what other moves I can actually learn. Oh yeah, the cannonball. An upward cannonball, which I don't know if I dig too much, to be honest. Classic fatality here. Actually, this one shows more detail on how he rips the heart out. That's pretty awesome. We obviously have stage fatalities in every single one of the games. The two remaining fatalities for Kano, a little bit of a spoiler, but you shouldn't be even surprised after what I told you, are the ones from Mortal Kombat 3. Just to make sure, it is down, 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 and back, back, back. Yeah, you know this one, but again, it is animated and shown with a more level of detail, which is extremely interesting. Well, unfortunately, it's just a minor detail, but yeah, in this MUGEN game, specifically Mortal Kombat 1 doesn't feature the bonus game in which you can break wood, stone, etc. Do we have any additional Psycho Beam? Sorry, Psycho Cable and Octave Beam, which is actually the other fatality from MK3, but just made a regular special attack, special power. A range attack, which is always good. But yeah, the controls of Kano in the original Mortal Kombat 1 are kind of a pain in the ass. That's why I didn't dig them too much. But in this one, since they are very similar to the ones for Mortal Kombat 3... Okay, Sonya can actually use a gun. Speaking of the Octave Beam... Fatality. So yeah, we have shown the 3 fatalities from Kano. I guess we're gonna take a look at the animality and the friendship. Another detail that I'm not too keen on, to be honest, is that the stages actually get featured at random. We already saw Goro's Lair. They don't follow any specific order, which is kind of, you know, not very good, considering that, especially in later Mortal Kombat games, you want to like expect a specific stage so you can perform the pit fatality, which basically you will be able to do by mere luck, or being able to encounter. Okay, I completely forgot to do the friendship. I think they said run, 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 or hold the run button for 2 seconds or so. No, it's run, run, run. Yeah, we got a run button, which doesn't work here, to be honest. So that's what I was trying to do, as a matter of fact. Don't worry, guys. I mean, we will have plenty of opportunities to play as Kano. Trust me. So if we don't see the friendship or the animality in this particular playthrough, don't worry, guys. There will be plenty of other versions of Mortal Kombat, including Ultimate Trilogy, in which we will see pretty much the same set of moves. Absolutely no difference. Okay, that was a new move. No, it doesn't really work. Kano wins. As such. Maybe the combination is different. Okay, we actually got the pit. Another detail here, we don't have entrance battles. Which is kind of a positive thing if you're not a big fan of the high difficulty of those in this game. But it is kind of essential within Mortal Kombat 1 in general. Let's face it, let's be honest. I haven't used the optic attack very much. Again, it's not a traditional Kano move in the original games. It doesn't exist, except in a fatality. So yeah, I insist in the point of we are able to see the finishing moves with a lot more detail. Red Kano? Kind of unfitting, if you ask me. Nice. Very bloody as well. I love it. Okay, how's the animality? Back, back, forward, forward. Okay, one thing about the animalities in this set of games, not necessarily in this one. You know, the original animality for Kano and MK3 is a spider. But it doesn't necessarily fit that. There it is. Okay, that spider looked a little weird, but yeah, it coincided with the original one. But in some cases, some characters actually transform into animals that... Or basically they perform the animalities of other characters, not their original one. We'll see some examples. So yeah, we are fighting the quote hidden characters as part of the regular tournaments in exchange for the entrance battles. Even though Ermac actually is not a playable character, it never was. It was literally a mistake, an error, making either Sub-Zero or Scorpion look red. But in essence, it's not a hidden character. Reptile was the only one hidden character. And in this game, Reptile got the moves combined of Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Okay! That's a new friendship. I actually had to perform it right next to him to make it work. So basically, Kano stole a little bag out of Reptile's pocket and Reptile chased him. We're gonna do it again, because we haven't seen enough of them. Yeah, they customized moves for Ermac in this one. which are essentially the traditional moves or air mag from UMK3. But yeah, it was until recently that I actually got to know about this air mag thing, being the short for error macro. Okay, this became kind of one of my favorite friendships, even for a customized one. But yeah, no fatalities in this one though. So yeah, time for the final bosses. At least we got to see everything that is, in my opinion, worth looking at, except for the brutality. But we saw the three fatalities, the friendship, the animality, and the pit fatality. Which is kind of the idea of in every single one of these playthroughs. I believe Goro and Shang Tsung are also playable characters in this one. That's kind of the tendency in these MUGEN mods, that even the final bosses and the hidden characters are not really hidden, they become just regular characters. I guess with an ending, with their own fatality sets. Okay, a shockwave attack. Okay, that move I believe is from Trilogy. That spin attack similar to the one from Zangief. I be talking out of my ass. Wouldn't be the first time and it won't be the last. There we go. I didn't do any special combination, he actually dies that way. Same thing applies to Kintaro and Motaro in their respective games. Okay, one detail about Shang Tsung that it's worth pointing out right now, and I guess I will repeat it as many times as it takes. He cannot transform freely into any character he wants by doing a button combination. Apparently MUGEN wasn't capable of doing such a thing, which is kind of understandable, I guess. But what you can do is basically perform with a simple command one specific attack of certain character. He performs it once and then goes back to the Shang Tsung form. But you cannot morph freely into every character and perform a fatality, for example, from any character you want by the time you defeat the enemy. Got him. I believe we have the actual endings from the games, their respective games. Yes. Which is a great thing, obviously. I actually never took the time, never had much of enough patience to play and beat these games with every single one of these characters in the original versions. You always see me play these games with the same characters, but there's some very good players, pretty much pros, that beat all of these games playing as every single one of these characters, knowing all the combos, performing all the fatalities, all the brutalities, getting all of the endings, all of the secrets. I wish I were that good as playing as every character, but I just kind of consider myself good enough playing as a few of them. But in these MUGEN mods, actually that would be a great opportunity to actually show them off. All of them. Even if that actually requires to make the difficulty even easier. This wasn't hard at all, trust me. And it was kind of a medium. yeah, these great things, I guess we're gonna look at them once, and then for the next playthroughs, there will be no necessity to actually show all of this again. For the sake of time, I mean, I have only taken 20 minutes in here. So I guess even with certain defeats and certain deaths, me losing some rounds and such, it shouldn't take more than half an hour. These are the actual developers, yes. Okay, I thought they were the people that worked on the MUGEN. I believe this specific MUGEN collection was released by Brazilian people. Together with the Russians, big communities of Mortal Kombat and Kino Fighters, among other fighting games. And that's it. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.